How the Sultan of Brunei spends his billions. Few heads of state are as extravagant, all-powerful, and wealthy as the Sultan of Brunei, or to give him his full name, Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Muizzuddin Waduala. Reigning over a country rich in natural resources such as oil and gas, the Sultan has also amassed a dizzying array of titles, properties, and other luxury items. Before becoming an advocate for the strictest form of Islam, the 72-year-old Sultan was once known for his lavish, liberal, and Western lifestyle. At one point, the richest man on the planet, worth as much as $40 billion, his exploits included reportedly racing Ferraris at midnight through Brunei's capital, commissioning a 1,788-room palace, and spending $20,000 to get his haircut. Here's a look at the Sultan of Brunei's extravagant, fabulous life. Here we profile the life of one of the loftiest, extravagant, fabulous, and majestic rulers of the world stage. He lives in the largest royal residence in the world. The Sultan lives in the largest royal residence in the world, the Intana Nurul Iman Palace, a sprawling 1,800-room residence on the bank of the Brunei River that's worth $1.8 billion. Completed in January 1984 and covering 2 million square feet, its domes are gilded with 22-karat gold, 1,800 rooms, 257 bathrooms, gold-plated escalators, air-conditioned stables for the Sultan's Argentine polo ponies, which he at one time had 200 of them, and an 800-car underground garage for the Sultan's cars. It is larger than the Vatican, situated on the banks of the Brunei River on the top of the hill overlooking the city. The palace is an enigmatic symbol of Brunei's enduring monarchy and seat of the nation's government, and a glittering example of Brunei's majestic royal heritage. It is closed to the public expert during the Hari Raya, when the royal family greets the public. The palace also includes a banquet hall that can be expanded to accommodate up to 5,000 guests, a mosque accommodating 1,500 people, and 5 swimming pools. Parties. The Sultan of Brunei and his family have indulged themselves in lavish parties, polo ponies, race horses, yachts, and hundreds of Rolls Royces, and hosted a number of celebrities and beauty queens. The Sultan paid Elton John, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, Bon Jovi, and Tina Turner to come to Brunei and entertain him and his friends. In the mid-1990s, the Sultan and his brother were credited by supplying roughly half of the Rolls-Royce's sales income. The Sultan erected a 1,788-room palace on 49 acres, which is without equal in the world of offensive and ugly display, in the words of one British magnate, and celebrated his 50th birthday with a blowout featuring a concert by Michael Jackson, who was reportedly paid $17 million in a stadium built for the occasion. When the Sultan flew in Whitney Houston's for a performance, he is rumored to have given her a blank check and instructed her to fill it for what she thought she was worth. More than $7 million, it turns out. And then there were gifts. An official list from 2002 exposed in Jeffrey's legal battle with his brother details more than $17 billion in payment and presents to family, friends, VIPs, and entourage, including $18 million to the father of one of the Bolkiah's wives, nearly $1.5 million to a badminton coach, and millions more to government officials, some of whom get Porsches, real estate, and jewelry. The Sultan's extravagance is legendary. While playing polo with Britain's Prince Charles, the Sultan once had his polo shoes delivered by helicopter to the palace field. The family of the Sultan of Brunei used to spend so much money, up to $500 million a year, at the London jeweler Asprey. They decided to buy it. In November 1995, the Sultan bought it for $375 million. Asprey has traditionally been the jeweler of the British royal family, or more simply, the Queen's jeweler. Haircut. The Sultan of Brunei dropped more than $24,000 on a trim. For one of the world's richest men, it is a snip, but at $24,000, it must be the most expensive haircut ever. Worried about catching swine flu, the Sultan made sure that his barber didn't mix with other passengers on the plane and hence paid $18,000 for a private luxury cabin for his barber. Modesto runs a barber's at the Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair, central London, and usually charges £30 for a trim. But the 63-year-old Sultan, one of the richest men in the world, pays the barber thousands every time he makes the 7,000-mile round trip to Brunei. Reports say he has been cutting the hair of the Sultan for 16 years. He goes regularly, sometimes even 3 or 4 weeks. The Sultan flies him first class at a cost of about £9,000. Everything is paid for, hotel, luxury, food. It's a case of just keep signing, that's all. Cars collection. Imagine owning 7,000 cars. If you are a billionaire, then it's possible. The Sultan is the world's second longest reigning current monarch after Queen Elizabeth II. Considering that Bolkiah is royalty, he has plenty of money to purchase cars. He is a lover of cars. His fortune enabled him to collect models that are not only expensive but also rare. When Bolkiah collected 300 cars, many people thought that he garnered an impressive collection, but Bolkiah continued to spend his money to quench his thirst for cars. The Sultan's lavish spending spree resulted in the purchase of 7,000 cars that pundits have estimated the net worth to be $5 billion. Bolkiah is the biggest car collector in the world as he owns more than 600 Rolls-Royce rides, 450 Ferrari types, and over 380 Bentleys. Why would anybody own more than 450 Ferrari rides? They can, is the simple answer. Listing all of the Sultan's supercars would require enthusiasts to read a book. Private jets. Living a luxury lifestyle means enjoying the best of what the world has to offer. From material to the immaterial, making actual in all areas of life. Having expensive cars, living in a luxury house, traveling in first class, or taking a private jet, that is what the Sultan of Brunei, Prince Hassanal Bolkiah, does. As the ruler of the oil-rich Sultanate of Brunei on the island of Borneo, it should be noted though that the Sultan also has a whole collection of wide-body jets at his disposal, including 2 Airbus A340s and a 767. But the Boeing 747-430 is the largest aircraft. Given that Brunei is awash in oil, we suspect that the Sultan is not too worried about fuel efficiency or the cost of operating such a fleet. As you can see, the Sultan spared no expense to outfit his private jet. His Majesty paid at least $100 million to purchase a Boeing 747 and then another $120 million to outfit the aircraft with an interior that befits a Sultan. The master bedroom, a luxury bathroom, and all decorated with gold and Lalique crystal. A gold-plated sink. Yes, you didn't hear it wrong, a gold-plated sink. This guy doesn't just ride in style, he rides epic. Properties. The Sultan had a Las Vegas home. This estate with an unofficial listing of $37.5 million with Tsar Zanganeh was purportedly built for occupation by the Sultan of Brunei for his younger brother, Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah. It is currently owned by the president of Consumer Credit Service Inc., Eric Peterson, who had purchased it for $14 million in 2004. This estate is located very close to the Las Vegas Strip, being one of the biggest homes in Las Vegas. It had 17 bedroom suites with attached bathrooms. There is a master bedroom and a total of 36 bathrooms in the house. The parking lot has the capacity to hold 50 vehicles and the garage holds 11 cars. The large ballroom can accommodate 1,000 people. His playboy brother Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah has a London residence at St. John's Lodge in swanky Regent's Park. It's the most expensive private house in the UK and said to be worth $203 million. The Sultan's purchases don't stop at royal palaces or transport either. He also owns some of the world's most expensive properties around. The Brunei Investment Agency, itself an arm of the government, purchased and set up the Dorchester collection of hotels, from the Dorchester in London, the Beverly Hills Hotel in LA, to Le Maurice in Paris, and Hotel Eden in Rome. They're among the most exclusive choice of residences for the super rich. However, some celebrities including actor George Clooney have called for a boycott of the hotel since the Sultan created legislation for gay sex to be punishable by death by stoning. Following the backlash, the Sultan has since said the punishment would not be imposed. There we have it, guys. What do you think of the Sultan's heaven on earth lifestyle? Owning to the fact that he is no longer the world's richest man, do you think his spending hugely influenced that? Let us know in the comments.